about $2 or $3, which just covers a copying fee. And inside the public domain programs, usually there's a text file, so you can print out a manual. So these usually don't come with a manual like the regular software packages. This first one here I'm going to put on is Chuckle Pop. This one here has got 400 jokes in it. And what this does is this stays in your computer all the time when you're computing. So I'll just put that in the drive door, and all I have to do is press Chuckle, C-H-U-C-K-L-E. And now what it's going to do is it's going to load up the program into the computer's memory. Now it tells me that it's already, the program is all there ready for me to use. So now I'll take that out, and we'll put in, we'll take a look at a few of the jokes in a few minutes so I can show you what the memory resident stuff means. Now, this is for any of you new users. There are a lot of public domain programs out there that are made to help and assist everybody. This one here is called DOS Help. And the way that you get to that is just simply type in help and hit enter. And now what this will do, it'll bring up a list of all of the different DOS commands that are available in DOS 3.3. And what this does is you can go to any of the commands and check out in pretty well basic English what, say, disk copy means. And it gives you the purpose, it gives you the format of how you're to use the command, and it also gives you a few remarks. For instance, on disk copy, what disk copy is you're able to copy one disk onto another disk. So if you have files and you're doing a backup, or you want to, say, copy one letter to another disk, this is how you do it. Format, disk copy, and then you see how they've got the brackets there. It shows you how to do the actual command itself. And remarks is if you use a /1, it only copies on one side. And the first drive letter is D, which is the source drive. The source is the actual one that you want to copy. And then it'll come up and say the second drive is the target drive. That's the one where it wants to go. The disk copy command will copy an entire diskette and format the destination disk if necessary. So this means that if you have a brand new box of disks and you're doing a bunch of copying, then all you have to do is take the unformatted disk and put them in, type the disk copy command, and it will actually format the floppy disk for you. And if you have only one disk drive, disk copy will then tell you when to change the disks. So we'll just hit escape and go to another one. Let's say format. A lot of people, when they get their computer, you take it home, you turn on the computer, and you get this little flash flashing on the screen. So what this does is this really helps you get to know and understand your computer. And again, it only costs like $2 or $3, so it makes it really affordable for everybody. And now what it does here is it gives you all of the new commands, or all the commands of formatting a diskette. So this is like putting the grooves on it, or magnetizing the diskette to prepare the new diskette for data. So it's got every different command, and remove directory, select and set and share, and time and tree, verify, X copy, hard disk preparation, floppy disk preparation, this help program, and help in the mouse. So you can actually get a lot out of this $2 or $3 investment. So now we'll get out and let's go to a joke. Yeah, so all we had to do was press Alt-J, and Alt-J automatically brought up the joke, even though I had the other disc in there. So two golfers met at the club. I heard about your terrible tragedy last week, said one. Yes, said the other, sadly sipping his drink. I was playing a twosome with Winthrop, and he dropped dead on the 9th hole. I understand you carried him all the way back to the clubhouse, too. The first man said sympathetically, that must have been very difficult, considering Winthrop weighed over 250 pounds. The carrying wasn't hard. It was just putting him down at every stroke, then picking him up again that wore me out. Okay. Okay. I didn't promise the quality of the jokes would be great. I just said there would be jokes. But there's 400 of them. So we should read all 400? No. So you can go through all 400 of them. And then when you get to the end of a chapter, all you have to do is hit enter, and then it takes you into the next chapter. So it makes it a really excellent program to use. Now, let's get into something using proper grammatical things. This is called Easy Forms. Easy Forms, again, is only a $2 or $3 disc. So for businesses out there that are looking at investing in a computer system, to check out what programs are on the market, it's not a heavy-duty investment like a lot of people think. The actual computer. You know, back in the old days, what they used to do was they used to give the hardware and sell the software. That's how it used to work back in the old days. But it doesn't work that way now. We're in the 90s, I guess. So what this form does is, again, it just says press your selection. It says, number 1, create, revise a master form. So now we'll go to number 1. We'll take a look at some of the master forms that they have in here. Let's say you needed a meeting agenda and you didn't have time to scratch it all down. All you'd have to do is get into this program, go meet agen, and press enter. And then what it does is it pulls up the whole thing already done. Somebody took their time and actually created this program for us to use. So it's got the date scheduled, the time, the title, the purpose, results desired, location scheduled, and actual and meeting cost, and all that neat stuff. And persons attending, and then you've got a whole meeting schedule. I guess we should be using this, right? And then now F10, it says down at the bottom, F10 to exit. So again, really simple. So we hit F10 and exit without saving, yes. And then we can go to another one. Let's say we want to go to a phone directory. So it's phone dir, and then enter. Then you can start filling in all your phone numbers, name or firm, city and state, province and postal code. So you've always got a permanent record of it. And it's really great having a computer. You know, last month in Canada alone, 202,000 people bought computers. Can you imagine how many people are scratching their heads out there? Because it is a little frustrating in the beginning if you don't have the proper support. Support is very important to get with your computer system. Make sure if you're investing in a computer system that you've got people there to train you, to guide you, to help you, hold your hand for the rest of your life, because that's important. Okay, so now you've got the idea of what Easy Forms does, so we'll escape from this. So all we have to do is press 8, and that exits to DOS. It says, do you want to get out of the program? Yes. Oh, you know what we should do? This one here is for all you Lotterio maniacs out there. This one here will give you all your magic numbers. And if you win 100 or $1 million, then keep in mind you saw it here live. Okay. So now it takes this one a couple of seconds to boot up. So now I'm going to have somebody's birth date and all that neat stuff. Okay, where did you go? Okay. Yes, and perhaps, okay, I guess it's lotto night tonight, isn't it? No? It's out working. This one didn't want to work. On to the next one. And I guess we have to reboot the computer now. There we go. So a couple of minute chat while we're waiting. Miniscribe has been bought by Maxtor. Maxtor makes a very high quality grade hard drive. Miniscribe was in a little bit of trouble. They actually had filed under Chapter 11 bankruptcy about 2.5 months ago, and Maxtor has just come to their rescue. So now Miniscribe is saved. They're under a whole management revitalization situation. So it's really excellent that Miniscribe has been saved. Okay, now for the people out there that would like to increase their typing skills, this one is called Fast Type. And what this one does is this one tests your typing skills. So press the key to continue. Again, everything's all prompted. Now it's going to ask me which drive letter we're using, and we're using the top drive, so that's drive A. So now it loads all the tables in. One moment, please. Sounds like the operator. There we go. So now we've got the help facility. So again, if you're unsure of how to use a program, most programs are built in with a help function in it. So that's for F1. That takes you to the main menu. Beginner drills menu, beginner exercises, advanced exercises, keyboard aids, exit to DOS, and redisplay the main menu. So let's take a look at the main menu for a second. And it gives you all the keys that you can use, and you can actually customize the program to give you what letters you want and which which letters you need practice on. So we'll just go back to that one. And now let's go to, say, advanced. Now you can pick easy sentences, hard sentences, short paragraphs, keyboard prompting on or off, start drill. Okay, first off, let's pick some easy sentences. Yes. Now, F10, start the drill. Oh, I guess I was too fast for the computer. Okay, I was fooling you. No, I can't type that fast. But the whole thing is what it does is it gives you a whole display of the typewriter keyboard so you can actually type all the letters in and practice with your drills. Now, how are we doing for time there, Kate? Good? Okay. So now we have to exit to DOS, so F8. And again, it tells us exactly what to do. The computer telling us what to do? No, the program telling us what to do. This is a really neat one here. This is called 3D images. For all you people out there that have heard about AutoCAD, AutoCAD is, CAD stands for Computer Assisted Design or Drafting. So this one here starts on, first we do a directory to see what the execute file is so we don't get it wrong. Yes, and it tells us that it's image. Again, what I just did was I just opened up the book. I did a directory. I just opened up the disk, just like opening up a book, to look at the table of contents to see exactly what made the program work, and it was image. Now this is really neat. You should do the hourglass, or the temple, or the pyramids. We've got time to decide. Because you see, it's booting now from the floppy. Anybody who has a hard disk, access time is a lot faster. So now it says image. And now it asks me what we would like to look at. So let's take a look at the hourglass. Okay, hold on, folks. This is going to be neat. There we go. It's coming. Here it comes. There it is. The hourglass. Isn't that excellent? So you can create your own programs. You can create your own diagrams. Now, if we want to say enlarge in that, okay, we can enlarge each space or reset the, there we go. So see how it divides it up into different sections? We can decide to view just one section and change it. Let's say we'll take a look at section 5. That's the one we were just looking at. So you can take your mouse or your pen and change any of the lines and things in there. So again, one of the 10,462 things you can do with your computer. So now it's just saving that, what we just did. We didn't really modify it at all. And we'll go back And again, you can set it up to the way your system works. Now, really quickly, I'm going to show you a program here that's called Auto Menu. Now, a lot of you people, when you get your computers, get your computer and, like I say, you've got this flashing dot on the screen. With this program, you can put it into your computer so that it automatically comes up every single time with this menu. And you can customize the menu to suit your needs. For instance, at the top it's got Auto Menu Building Facility. Well, you don't have to have that. You can have, say, Ruth Ann's recipe renditions or First Choice or whatever programs you have, and you can go 8 pages sideways and 8 pages back. So you can get a lot of programs on here. And we can go to the disk operating system. You can execute DOS commands from this menu system. It makes it a lot easier for the new computer users to utilize their computer and really get the most out of it. This is how I've seen a lot of computers set up. And again, this is one of the little extra things to be done in the support aspect of buying a computer system. Oh, time for another joke. Where are our jokes? Oh, I rebooted the computer, right? So the jokes aren't there anymore. You guys want another joke? Just real quick one? Okay, so we'll just load it up real quick. Just one really fast one, Rick. There we go. Okay, Alt J. Okay, the judge was lecturing the suspect. You were going over 100 miles per hour. Weren't you afraid of hitting somebody? What? Asked the man. On the sidewalk? Okay. Again, I didn't promise they'd be good, but you see, even David Letterman makes money doing this. Okay, what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you this really quick program. Oh, you got to take the joke off of there, though. This is a really neat program. It's 3 minutes. It takes a couple of seconds to wind up, but what it is a painting type program, and it has interesting images. So let's go to an interview with Ashton Tate, the producers and makers of DBase Plus and DBase 4, which is the one that we're talking about now. So off to DBase land. We're here with Haider Rabbani of Ashton Tate, the producers of DBase 4. Haider, what is a database, and what are the applications that DBase 4 has to offer?
Okay. Well, basically a database is a way of collecting information, collecting data in some sort of a logical format. You can enter data into your database in virtually any way you want, but what a database really allows you to do is retrieve that data in some sort of an organized format. A database could be anything really, a mailing list, a list of your customers, a list of your friends, a telephone directory, virtually any information that you would want collected. And that's essentially what a database is in a nutshell.
So basically, a database is any form of data that we can put in, like name, address, phone number, and then we could say do a search on say a particular phone number if we needed to retrieve the address, let's say, for instance. Great. And how does DBase 4 fit into this scenario?
Well, DBase 4 is an offshoot, or not an offshoot, but I guess a superseding product to the previous versions of DBase, which was DBase 3 Plus, DBase 3, and DBase 2. DBase was one of the first commercially available database products on the market some 6 to 7 years ago, originally under the CP/M operating system. DBase 4 has come a long way in those years in that we've built a number of enhancements onto the database product in that what we're able to do now is things like have novice users, first-time users, or inexperienced users work with the product very easily and develop complicated reports or complex data entry screens and applications without knowing very much programming at all.
Fantastic. So this allows a person that doesn't know a lot about computers to build their own files and database storage.
Absolutely. We have a unique user interface back here referred to as a control center, as you can see, which consists of 6 panels. There's a data file panel, queries, forms, reports, labels, and applications. It's an integrated system in that when you create a data file or you create a form to go with that data file, the catalog is automatically updated, and the user is basically prompted through each procedure or each step to the point where the system will even program automatically when you create forms or reports, and the source code is then available for editing if the user chooses. If not, then it's completely transparent to the user.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Hyder, for your explanation.
You're welcome.
So what did you think of seeing all that public? Oh, hold on. Stop. If you guys are clicking through the channels, stop right there, because this is the best computer show in the city of Hamilton. You have just lucked into a good thing here.
Okay. Hi. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
What do you think about all that public domain stuff? Isn't that neat?
It's great. Yeah. That's where we tell the people that it's important to check out the public domain before they end up going out and spending $3 or $5 or $1,000 on a program, so they can check out and see what there is.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, for $2 or $3, some of these programs are great.
Are good. Yeah. A lot of people have worked very hard on these. Very.
You know, too, something else that we should bring up, too,
What?
is with public domain, there's usually a little comment attached to it.
Yeah.
And that says, you know, send the programmer, you know, $10 or $15. If you use the program a lot and you really like it a lot, I mean, if you send them 10 or 15, or I mean, some of them, you know.
It keeps their incentive up.
Yeah, and they'll
because
keep
they're
you
spending
updated.
a lot of hours. Yeah.
A lot of hours. Can you imagine? I couldn't sit there and be a programmer. Locked away in a closet. Would you like that?
Not today, no. No, it's okay for today.
Did anybody read the article in, what was it? Was it in the Spec or was it in the Star?
Oh, which one?
The one about Heather.
I believe it was a Star.
In the Star. Heather McCready, an 11-year-old girl. 11 years old. Started her own computer company. You know how she started it?
How?
Her dad sold computers.
Yeah.
And he was going away on a trip to Montreal, and he said, okay, well, now I'm going to have some people calling here, and this is what you're supposed to tell them. And she got into it, and she was actually on TV today, 11 years old.
I didn't see her.
Well, no, she's 13 now because
Now,
the show's been going
she's had her
for,
business for 2 years. It's a registered company.
and business is booming.
Yeah, she's just talking straight English to them. That's the whole point about the computers, is you use all this fancy jargon, excuse me, but people are going to get totally confused. Yep.
That's what she, you know, halfway in the article, she said that she talked to people and on the phone, but then after that, they would, when she saw them to deliver the products or whatever, that they were totally amazed that was, you know, this
A young girl.
lady.
Yeah, why not? Nothing says that you have to be 20 or 30 before you start doing something.
Yeah, that's excellent.
The younger, the
Computer
better.
whiz kids. So parents,
Yeah.
for you parents out there, there is a whole other world. If oh, I'm sure parents understand anyway. It's the 1990s
I'm sure that they do.
and
Yeah.
stuff, you know, and it's great.
It was good to see something like that in the paper,
Yeah.
taking the
exciting.
initiative. It's very... Hi, Brennan.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Fine. I have Mark. I have a call for Mark and a question.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm calling to see, like, he has some programs, the programs he had early on.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna ask, how do you get those? How would you get them?
Well, there's a number of ways. Just contact us. Contact us at the cable company, or you can come to the computer club. That's a good way too, because the computer club members, we have all the public domain down there. You have a computer now, Brennan?
Yeah.
Excellent. So come down to the computer club. Do you have a pen handy there?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. It's 145 King Street East.
King Street East?
Yeah, that's Park Business College.
Okay.
Yeah, these people have opened up the doors to the Cable 14 Computer Club and graciously allowed us to use one of their classrooms. Now, it's the last Monday of the month.
Okay.
What's the date on the last Monday of the month, Brennan?
I'm not too sure right now.
This is a quiz question now. I don't know if we're going to allow you in the club or not if you don't come up with the right answer.
Yeah. But they're always held the last
Yeah, the
Monday
last Monday of the month. I think it's what, the 23rd? No, 28th? 28th.
28th.
Yeah. The last Monday of the month, 7 o'clock
7 o'clock.
at Park Business College.
Okay, thank you.
And good stuff. Talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye for
Bye-bye.
now. Yeah, or actually we should have said, because you can write to the studio too. They'll allow us to do that.
That way he can go down and he can talk to all the different people and probably see an
Check
awful-
out all of them.
Yeah, yeah, because there's more than just 2 or 3 there.
And get a listing of all of them. Oh, there's so many programs. So
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's an excellent club. Excellent club. Oh, let's take another call here before we get too excited.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing this evening?
Oh, not too bad.
Good.
I have a Radio Shack, Color Computer 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I bought a disc system when I was down in Florida in January, but my parents just brought it home a couple weeks ago. And I was just wondering, these public domain programs that you're talking about, will they work on my computer or just on certain kinds?
Just on IBM compatible. That's an older version of the Radio Shack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I don't believe it will work on that one. Basically, these ones are done up for IBM, but I shouldn't disqualify this because there are public domain programs done up for Radio Shack Color 3 computers.
Oh, okay. Is there any way to get a listing of those?
Sure. What you can do, I don't have one handy with us, but if you want to write to Cable 14 with your name and address and phone number and all that, and then that way I can get back to you and give you a list of all that, or come down to the computer club meeting.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye for
Bye-bye.
now. Yeah, it's excellent. I guess we have some. It's really important to get this message out to people because they think that.
The public domain?
Yeah. I talk to a lot of people. We talk to a lot of people that don't even know what the public domain
We keep
exists.
telling them.
Keep telling them.
Hey,
Public domain.
especially with the education system too, it's so important that just down the street here there's a building there that all the parents can go to
For all the
for
things
all
at the
the
school.
education programs that they have at the schools. Yes,
Yep. That's right on Dundurn too.
yes.
Because you get a lot of parents that want to get the programs for their children, the ones that they're learning at school.
Yes.
And it's all there for you. All it is just ask the question. Amazing.
Asking questions. Yeah.
Knock and the door shall be opened.
Here, there's an article
Seek
about
and you
smart
shall
cars.
find. Smart cars hit the road. Computer map. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These are
They were talking
neat.
about that a year ago. Now they're out in Japan and they're testing them where? In Florida
Florida.
and California. But they're not going to be sold anywhere other than Japan. And it's where it maps out. Right now it's not going to be sold anywhere other than Japan.
I guess.
What?
Well, we need directions here, too. Maybe we can.
But
we can-
Japan started the whole idea, I guess.
Isn't that amazing?
So they take
Can you
over.
imagine what the year 1999 is going to be like? You know,
Wow.
we'll be sitting in these chairs and,
Yeah.
and talking about, oh no, we probably won't be sitting in these chairs. We'll be sitting in these great big, lazy boy chairs with all these remote controls and making things go all over the place, anything we want.
Think the cars will be flying by then? You never know, right?
The Jetsons, Mrs. Jetson.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing tonight?
fine.
Good. What can we help you with?
Yeah, I was wondering, do you have to have any special things or anything like that to join the club for computers, or do you have to have a computer at home, or because I like to learn more about the computers and that, and just in the future I may be buying a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Excellent.
was just wondering, do you have to have any special papers or things like that, or a computer at home to, to
No, Debbie.
do things?
No,
No.
I'll tell you, you're just as important as someone that has a computer or someone that knows anything about a computer. Because you have an interest, the best way to find out and start feeling a little bit more comfortable with it is to get around the people that you can ask questions with. And you can start getting some of the answers, and it's not as scary as I used to make it out to be.
Oh.
Believe me, I used to be afraid of it.
My brother-in-law out west in Edmonton, Alberta,
Uh-huh.
he has a computer, And I don't know what the computer was for, but he told me that it was for his music, like he's in a band.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he meant by the band. I don't know what that kind of a computer could do, because also you could play games on it as well as for his music. Now, I didn't know, I understand the games, but I didn't understand the music, what he looked for in that music for, like, for his band and that.
Well, the really neat thing about the computer is that there are programs made that you can just plug into all the instruments and everything, and you can just play away.
Oh, lovely.
And it will record every single thing that you did, so that you could play it back and pick out what you liked and what you didn't like, and create songs and all kinds of
I'm going to buy one.
Oh, it's great. Once you get it and you really start learning about it, and you become curious on what you can do with it. That's the best thing about it, because really it's a never-ending system. You just keep adding more to what you want to learn.
Oh.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome,
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Debbie. Bye-bye.
You know what I think we should do?
What?
Is have demonstrations, just computer demonstrations, no sales pitch and all that stuff. Just a demonstration
So,
to
for
show
the comfort
people
of-
what to do with computers.
Yeah.
Because that intimidation is the biggest fear and the biggest thing that's holding people back from understanding and using these things. You know, they remember all these science fiction things, you know.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
They're
dun.
taking
Computers
over the
taking
world.
yeah.
It's interesting, but it's excellent though, because if you do get around people. I remember before we started having the computer club, we could get involved. Excuse me. We would get involved with people, and their terminology would be like, well, excuse me, but you don't understand. Yeah, but you have to keep it. You have to keep it where the common person. I'm a common person. I'm a human being. So
You are.
let's explain it to where everybody can do it. Thank you. I'm going to a call mark. Robert?
Hello.
Hello, Robert.
Hello?
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Oh, 1 second. Turn the volume up.
Oh, all right.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I'm at the point now, shall we say, in my computer lifestyle where I've realized my applications. My girlfriend, she also has applications, so it's beneficial for both of us to buy a computer at this point in time. But there's really nowhere that I know of where you can find information on how to buy a computer. If you go to a sales room, so to say, they're very biased. They're trying to plug their product, of course. I was wondering what you could advise on that, where to find out about how to buy a computer.
Well, I think, you know something, Robert? I think it's our duty, because of Cable 14, the station, and what this show is all about and what we're all about, is to have a demonstration. Would you come to a demonstration if we had a demonstration, like no sales pitch involved and all that?
Would that be at your club?
Yeah.
The last Monday of the month.
Well,
correct?
no, we'd have to do it at a separate time
Yeah.
in the club, because
Yeah.
the
The club is...
club we get into all kinds of new things.
Certainly.
Okay, well, tell you what. Let's see if we can organize something like that, because we've had a lot of want for something like that. So maybe we'll put something together for you and get back to you.
Certainly.
Okay.
I'll keep on watching.
Good
Super.
stuff.
Thanks for your time.
No
You're
problem.
welcome.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
You know something? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad you thought of it.
Oh, thank you. I am too. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
All right.
Great.
I've got a Commodore computer, and I bought a program for it called SuperText. It's a word processor. And I wanted to know if you could tell me something. It's set up for 80 columns of text,
Right?
but like I set up my printer right now, it's set up for 90 columns. Is there any way I can extend the column in the program so that I can print 90 characters wide?
First off, your screen will only accept 80 unless there's a special message in the program itself.
There is. I can set up the parameters,
Okay.
and I set them up to 100.
Right.
But only 80 will come up on the screen still, and it still prints out to 80, even though the parameters will allow you to set it up to 100.
Well, it sounds like I'm not that familiar with that particular software package, so I haven't got a solution, but we do have the wherewithal to get the answer for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can expect maybe us to get back to you within give us a few days, because of the show, and then we've, got our lives and stuff, but we'll get back to you.
It might be early. Well, today's Wednesday. Later by Friday, if not Friday, it'll be early next week because of the long weekend.
Or Saturday. Or it could be Sunday, or maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, you never know with us. we just take care of the people.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
You're
Ben.
welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye. That's excellent. Commodore 64s.
Yeah.
After the couple of shows that we had, we've decided to put on a camp for people that want to learn about their Commodore 64s.
Yep.
So we're going to sponsor a camp, a summer camp for kids, children aged 13 to 113, I think it is. Yeah. So if you're within that range, then
I'll be there, Grandpa.
yeah, write us a letter, and we'll talk to you about the details on that. Because after some of the response on the show, we have a definite. There's a need in the city to do a Commodore 64
and
stuff.
if the need comes up for the IBMs and everything else, it's what?
Yes, it is. Bring your sleeping bags, folks. Yes, we'll roast marshmallows. We'll have to ask Dr. Lewis about that, though.
Pancakes and orange juice in the morning.
Oh, we're also, this is exciting stuff happening here. The Computer Club is having a car rally.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
June
Not a racing
23rd.
rally, though.
No.
So
a scavenger hunt.
Mayor Bob Morrow, it is not, oh no, I guess we should be addressing the head of the police department. We are not having a racing rally.
Oh no.
We are having a fun treasure hunt rally.
Scavenger
Okay,
hunt,
we just thought I'd have to cover that like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, June the 23rd. So anybody out there in computer land, anybody out there in
TV land.
TV land that wants to come to our car rally, by all means, give us, write us a line or draw us a letter.
Or give us a phone call, whatever, and we can get back in touch with them. We'll fill you in on all the information, when it is, where it is, starting, and so on and so forth, because we're having a nice get-together. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Get-together. You're so gentle. It's great. Let's talk to Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. And yourself?
Excellent, thank you.
Good. I have two questions I hope perhaps you can help me with.
Sure.
One is, could you tell me if you're doing a newsletter and you put it on justification, this is, sorry, on the WordPerfect 5 version,
Right.
why invariably does it cut off a few of the letters on the right-hand margin? Do you have any idea?
Why in...
Usually it's just one or two letters.
Right. So you're putting it on right justify.
Well, it's
Or
yes,
just
on the right justification.
Right.
Would it be anything to do with the margins being,
Yes.
perhaps?
Yes.
It would be.
Yep.
So just reduce your margin somewhat then, and it shouldn't.
Reduce or enlarging your margin.
I would imagine it would be
Okay, I can't go any...
If it's cutting them off, then it'd have...
Yeah, I can't extend them any further. We're doing a newsletter, like it's on legal-size paper, and I just couldn't figure out why it was doing that.
Yeah. Excuse me, how long have you been using WordPerfect 5?
We just had it installed about, I guess, 3 months ago. Prior to that, we had the 4.2 version.
Right.
You
Okay.
know, I don't really find that many variables. And another question that I have is, if two people are working on a document and they want to incorporate, when I run my disk, the floppy, how do we incorporate the two documents into one? Because of course it comes up, do you want to replace? And you say yes. Would that eradicate the other document that was done on the other WordPerfect 5?
You need to go into the merge function. Do you know? Yeah, it's specially called merge. Are you familiar with merging?
Yes, I'm not. I certainly have a lot to learn insofar as the merging. I use it for labels and letters and things of that nature.
Right. Okay, merging is the, you've got the WordPerfect manual, right?
Yes,
If you look under merge, that will assist you in taking those two letters and putting them together. But
so
yes,
that's the only way it could be done then is by using the merge.
yeah, because if you do go replace, and then you will replace your document.
Okay, thank you very much for your help.
No
You're
problem.
welcome.
Yeah, that's neat. How it cuts off the, well, I guess it's not neat. That was probably the wrong expression to use, right?
Irritating.
You're right, irritating.
When it cuts off your letters, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I would imagine. What?
The Computer Club
Yes?
is going to have a show down at the Central Arena.
Oh, May 27th, Sunday from 11 o'clock. It
Till
starts at
5
11
o'clock.
till 4 or 5.
Right. So
Yeah.
any of the Computer Club members that haven't been called right now, we're going down to Burlington May 27th, so that's not this weekend, next
The following
weekend.
weekend.
And it's at Central Arena, 11 o'clock till 5. So we'll have all the public domain down there too.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who wants to come down for a drive on next Sunday, the 27th, come on down to Central Arena.
Yeah, this computer show has been in London, in Kitchener, and now it's in Burlington.
Yeah.
And it's all the companies, well, I guess if you want to drive from London and stuff too, they come down to Burlington. So it's a lot of different companies that are down there, which it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we should be down. We're going to be down there too, so that anybody who has any anything that they want to get to know, or get to know us a little bit and ask questions, it's really neat helping people. You know,
Yep.
it's really a good feeling, and I think it's great.
You do a good job.
You're doing a great job too. Hey, we don't need anybody else to pat us on the back. Now, Rick, if you want to switch us over to viewer mail there. And we've got some viewer mail in here. This is pretty interesting stuff that we want to cover here. And here's a letter done by somebody who didn't leave their name. Okay, this is the unsigned letter. Okay, to Mr. Mike Ironside. Okay, first off, my name will be Mark from now on. He's expressing his how we were talking about copyrights and public domain and stuff, and he mentioned that we should also tell the people the difference between shareware. Shareware not being the same as public domain, because shareware, in order to use the program and to put it into commercial use or whatever, you do have to pay for shareware. So it's a little different than public domain and stuff. And he also helps us out with our extended and expanded memory problem. This was really neat. 640K to 100 or 1000K, which is 1 megabyte. Okay. This is the subconscious memory. That's extended memory. And expanded memory is memory that's over 1 million bytes of information. Yes. Very interesting.
Good.
But he shouldn't have been afraid, or she shouldn't have been afraid to sign their name to it. It's okay.
We like to talk to people.
Here.
Don't say that.
Oh, here. You can talk about this one.
Oh, you go ahead. I gave all the viewer mail to you.
Oh, okay. Mark Ironside, a few questions. Our company services. This is from Servalarm. And they do maintenance, and they'd like some information on speech signals for transmission across portable radios. That is really a happening thing. Someday, you know how we have to connect to the telephone line when we use our modem?
Yep.
We won't have to do that.
You know, I have a thing, it's Laptops Work Anywhere with New Data Network, and they have the wireless data transmission network has gone into operation. It's where you have a laptop computer, and you can be sitting in the car up north and hook into, it's the same way as your cellular phones work. The laptop computer, you can sit here and contact your office in Toronto without having to do hookups.
Wow.
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat. I like that one.
That's neat. Oh, that's wild. This is gotta be the neatest business, neatest world to
Everything
be
is
in.
just going faster and faster.
The industry is just fantastic. We better take Derek. Derek,
Yes,
you're still
sorry.
on the line there. Hang
Hi,
there.
Derek.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Good.
I have been working for a short time with DBase 3 Plus, setting up mailing lists, labeling, and so on. But in order to drive that program using the command programming is a very slow, painful process. Do you know of anywhere locally where they teach command programming so that you can actually drive your database yourself?
Yes, I am familiar with some place like that, and I can give you all the information on that after the show, if that would be all right with you.
Yes, I'd appreciate that.
Because you want to make a separate Oh, sorry?
I agree with you that computers are fun. They're excellent, but sometimes they can be extremely slow and painful.
Oh, yeah.
You spend 3 hours and you feel like you've got not much further.
Yeah.
But the programming on DBS3, I think it's an excellent program, and to actually see that you have programmed your computer to put out mailing labels from a database that you've built yourself is excellent. But sorting out problems and maybe more complex operations that you like to do but can't do because the learning curve is so long and so slow, it would be really nice to have access to some people who know how to do that command programming and who can help you in that learning process.
No problem. We're the people to help you. That's what we're here for. Here to assist and
support, take care.
Support, take care. Consider us your friends away from your friends.
Great.
Okay. So we'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
And we'll take
You're
it from
welcome,
there.
Derek.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye. Yeah, you know, that's because DBase 3, what DBase 3 does is you can, after you've programmed in the actual software itself, then you can take it out and just have it run on its own. So then, of course, it runs a lot faster. Just okay, I think it's time again. Yes, it is. Time for Dr. Computer. Dr. Computer, do you want to tell us all about floppy disks, please? Floppy disk care.
Today we're going to talk about floppy disk care. Keep your disks away from a strong magnetic source. A lot of people store their disks on top of monitors, particularly color monitors. Color monitors have a very strong magnetic field. They can damage the disk, less so the monochrome monitors. Don't fold your disk. Floppy disk drives have trouble reading a folded disk. Keep your disks out of the sun. A lot of people will store their disks on the dashboard of the car, for example, or even in the glove box. Don't stick staples on the edge of a disk. You run the risk of bending the outer cover and the magnetic medium underneath. A common source of damage to disks occurs when people write on the label with a ballpoint pen. I've seen this many times. Again, the magnetic medium underneath is impressed and the data is lost. Keep the disk stored in a box such as this. This is an ideal source of storage. And keep the disks in their original jackets. Disks that touch can imprint on one another and damage the disk underneath. Finally, keep your disk away from high sources of humidity. Don't be tempted to borrow your friend's disk, for example, before he opens his newly bought package and perhaps steam open the license agreement envelope. It doesn't work. The disk comes out warped. Thanks, Mark.
Welcome back to Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles, the Hamilton's greatest computer show in the world. Anybody who's flipping through the dials, stop right there. I've got some interesting things to show you here. I'd like to show you this resume that was done up on the computer. You know, they told us that we were going to be heading into a recession and all that type of thing. You heard about all that?
Occasionally.
Yeah, and what people have to do are do things that are creative in the way that they do things. And with the recession coming, this is a really creative type of way to do a resume. I mean, this type of thing gets attention. And the computer produced all this. We were talking to a lot of people that were talking about apples. I think this was done on an Apple Macintosh. And just the creative work that's done on this type of thing is just fantastic.
It's good. It makes it fun to read it.
Yeah.
It's not just another resume.
That's right. Who is this guy anyway? Andy Zalagi. Yes. I've heard of this man, the infamous Andy Zalagi. Yes, very creative. And that's excellent because...
It is. It's nice.
And, of course, graphic designer. And the neat thing about it is anybody could do that. Anybody could do that.
Yeah. Once
Couldn't
you
they?
learn it, yes.
Just with a little bit of learning?
Just a little
I could
bit.
learn too. Oh, so maybe get some phone calls in here to tell us all about your problems. And we have some more viewer mail here.
Oh,
the
that's
easy
for PC
Dictionary.
Dictionary and DOS manuals. Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Roos, we're going to drop off that Easy PC Dictionary to you. And we've also got the Easy PC DOS manual, broken down into simple English so that even your dog can understand it. And F.A. Chicon. And these things, you know something? It makes me feel really good to get, makes us feel really good. You and I, both of us, together, to talk to all these people. Isn't it neat?
That's great.
Yeah. So, now, what everybody's been waiting for. Alex.
Yes.
Da-da-da. Bell Telephone has just put out a system called Alex. And Alex, it has been launched now in Metro. This went to, it was in Toronto, it was in Vancouver for testing. They were actually going to test it for 3 years. They decided to bring it on market because everybody loved it so much. And what this is a terminal that you can get for your home, and you can access pretty well any information. Now, it does cost, you know, dollars for the service charges on the line and that type of thing. But you can find out the latest things that are happening and going on. There are 300 services available.
Yeah. Isn't that where you can find out about the flights, plane flights and everything too? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that a few weeks ago on the TV also. That's good.
Yeah, so when they tell us to take off, then all we do is go to Alex and he tells us when.
Can you type in your own information if you want to go on that flight, or does it still go through a travel company and such?
I don't know.
I guess
That's a
it
good
would.
question.
You might be able to get the flight free, so it'll have to still go through a travel company.
Yeah, go into your bank account.
They've got a grocery store. Geez, these articles are just coming out so fast. It's unreal. About the grocery stores right now, that they're saying you push a grocery cart around and you'll be talking to your cart. You're not talking to yourself anymore. You're talking to your buggy that you're pushing around and putting your food into. And it's going to tell you, it keeps track of...
No way.
Listen.
You're serious?
It keeps track, yes, I'm serious. It keeps track of the groceries that you buy weekly, correct? And if you go in this week and you decide not to pick that item up, it's going to tell you, you passed this aisle, or you passed this item, and that is usually on your list.
No. Yes. Yes, you're serious.
Yes, I'm serious.
The talking grocery buggy.
Yes.
Ooh, done, done, done. So now I can program it to say, buy me Trix every week, or Cocoa Puffs, and you'll pick it up. It'll tell you you can't leave the store without buying it.
No, still won't work.
No fun. There's got to be some way. We got to get a computer programmer on that or something. There's a skill evaluation package. I think we'll have them on next show, June the 20th. I'll have to confirm with a company in Hamilton that has created a skill evaluation package so that you can test your skill on WordPerfect and DBase and Lotus and DOS and all that to see where you are and then where you want to go to, you know,
which is
through
great
courses
before
and
going
things.
out on interviews. Shows you where you are.
For sure. It's going to be very, very helpful, too, for employers and personnel agencies.
Oh, very. Very.
Yeah. So, call before midnight tonight. Alex and Mac Store and the show, the 27th of May. 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock, Burlington, Central Arena. Also, Park Business College for our computer club courses. You know, it's really excellent to have a space like Park Business College. You know, it's been around since 1903.
Oh, okay.
It
used to be down on James Street, and then it moved around to it used to be the bank. Yeah.
And
nice building.
The college is really spacious, and we've got a lot of room there to expand with a lot of members and stuff. So we're going to be going over a lot of fun things too.
Yeah.
The car rally is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to
You have to have
do
fun
that.
too.
Yeah.
Like that gentleman was saying about, it can be frustrating. when you're trying to create.
Frustrating? Computers frustrating?
Yeah.
Computers are fun, computers are fun, computers are fun. Oh, it's really, really excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that's really excellent are projects like this. To find out about how you can make different programs work for you. Because basically, the sky's the limit. A program can be programmed to do just about anything that you could do manually and speed up the process a lot. So for you folks out there that are a little hesitant about computers, and maybe you're one of these types of people that say, oh, well, I'll never use a computer and all that type of thing. Well, I tell you, 10 years from now, it is going to be a whole other world. I mean, we got talking grocery carts.
Yes. Yes.
That's
wow.
pretty neat. What do you got there?
This is, it says, from hot wrench to hot keyboard. It's about, it says, the grease monkey is being replaced by a new animal, and that's a computer by its side. And there was technology students from 10 high schools in the Hamilton, London, Kitchener, Ancaster, Brantford, Burlington, Milton, Paris, and Waterford tested their mechanical skills in the Canadian finals of the
Fergus wasn't in there.
Chrysler Plymouth CAA troubleshooting contest at Rosedale Arena in Hamilton. And the group from Brantford at the Brantford Collegiate Institute, congratulations, they won. Now they're getting an all-expense-paid trip to Washington June the 18th to go into the troubleshooting finals against 50 teams from across the United States. So it's that's good.
That's
good luck,
excellent.
Brantford. Yeah, nice.
Yay, the home of Gretzky.
Yeah.
The team with steam. Computers, you know something? Our children are going to be creating such fantastic programs for us. It's just excellent. They're talking about all of the atmosphere and all that, and changing the
environment you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, it's important. It's really serious.
It is. And our children are going to have to be the ones to clean up after us.
No, it's up to us to help right now prepare for that.
Well, it's not. It wasn't our generation. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how now everybody should be changing over to all this non-pollution stuff and all that. Meanwhile, back in the old days, remember when they used to, I mean, they came out with cars, right? Came out with big 8 cylinders.
Yeah.
Right? Now they're going to compact.
Yeah, I know, but the populations weren't as great as they are now either. And it just goes year after year after year. 20 years ago, these things were happening, and people were not taking it seriously about acid rain and such. Computerization, okay. We're going to talk environment now.
No, what we're talking about computers. So what does that have to do with environment?
Well, it tells you what the future, you can program it to tell you what serious things are going to happen if we don't start taking care of them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this is
our next
all
show
for this week.
Yeah,
June the 20th.
June the 20th, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Come on along.
Be there or be square.
Yeah.
Night, Jade.
Yeah,
and
night,
until
honey.
then, happy computing.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
If you missed getting in on the lines, we want you to write to Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles, care of Cable 14, 150 Dundurn Street South, Hamilton, Ontario, L8P 4K3.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles. If you're joining us for the first time, we're the #1 computer show in Hamilton today, assisting Hamiltonians in learning all about computers and their computer parts and how computers are relating in our everyday life. This evening, what we're going to do is take care of a major job for a lot of companies and people out there that are trying to learn how to develop their skills in and this company has produced this, now known worldwide. So what I'm going to do is go through the, this is my main menu here. The skills evaluation system is number 5, and hit enter, and this will take us into the skill evaluator. Many of you managers and company owners and even people that are taking courses through different schools, a lot of the times don't know exactly how far you're getting. And what this does, the skills evaluation system, is it gives you a good bearing on how you're doing in your course and how you're doing, let's say, in your job. The main menu here gives us a whole list of different types of software programs that you can access. The first one is accounting. Now, all we have to do is hit the enter button to select accounting, and when we do that, we see that we have ACPAC General Ledger 5.0, ACPAC Accounts Payable 5.0, and ACPAC Accounts Receivable 5.0. Now, the people at Castlewall who developed this in Hamilton produced 27 different packages for the skills evaluation system. I'm going to be talking a little bit more in detail about how to do your own customized program, and we'll show you exactly how you can do your own program from the skills evaluation system. So let's say we wanted to go into ACPAC General Ledger 5.0. What we do is we just select enter. It tells me that the current default time for ACPAC General Ledger 5.0 is 27 minutes. Asks me here if we should continue the evaluation, and we'll say yes, and then enter. What it's doing now, down the bottom, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, it says questions are now being randomly sorted. And it gives us a help screen right off the bat that makes it very, very efficient and very easy to use. The menu bar has 5 options that may be selected: A, B, C, D, or finished. Press the letter corresponding to the most correct answer. So what you've got multiple choice questions in here, and with the ACPAC General Ledger, you have 100 questions. So by selecting the multiple choice question that you feel is the best answer, it will give you the results at the end, which I'll show you in a second. So now let's say we pick, now it says down the bottom, good luck, press any key to continue. So here's question 1. Each account added to the chart of accounts must indicate the account code, account description, and opening balance, account type, department code, or all of the above. So what you do now is you pick the answer that corresponds to that and just hit A, B, C, or D, and then hit enter. And then it goes on to question 2. So obviously I'm not going to go through the whole system here, but I'll show you a few examples of the other skills evaluations that are in here. So then you go through and pick your answers, and when you're finished, it says the letter F for finished. Do you wish to conclude this evaluation? Yes. Are you sure? So now if you did that by mistake, it gives you another option to go back into your evaluation so you wouldn't lose it all, but I'm sure that we're exiting now. And now it tells me that the evaluation has become completed. So all I do is hit 2 keys, Control End, and down the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but it says enter candidate's name. So I'm going to put Mark in there because that's my name. And it tells me that I got 3.9%. Well, that's not very good. So I guess I'll have to take the evaluation again someday. But that's obviously only because I went through 3 questions. What the skill evaluator does is it takes you through and judges the results from initialization, and in this particular case, ACPAC is transactions, reports, and general information. And it bases your skill on the amount of time that it takes you and the amount of correct answers that you actually got right. Now you've got an option. You can either print the results to the screen, which we just did, or you can send it to the printer and print off a copy of your results so that you can keep them in a file folder, or you can print it to a file. So this means that forever you can update and increase, once you've increased your knowledge, you can take the skills evaluation system over and over again. So that way you make sure to keep on top of how much you're learning at school, let's say. And then we'll return to the main menu. And if we wanted to go into accounts payable and accounts receivable, we would just follow the same principles as we would with all the other ones. The database evaluation system gives you software evaluation on Clipper Summer 87, Data Perfect 2.0, Database 3 Plus Interactive, Database 4 Interactive, DBase 4 Control Center, FoxBase 2.1, R&R Report Writer, and then back to the main menu. For some of you people that don't understand exactly what all these programs are, these are just database programs, the most well-known in the industry. So anyone who is a programmer can evaluate how they're doing on their actual programming. It also gives a manager, or say the owner of a company, a good handle on exactly how much training their people would like to or would need to have. Because in this world of computers, a lot of companies are going totally on the skill that they have when people walk through the door. And a lot of companies aren't doing a lot of training. They get into their 1-minute application or into their application and then get back out of it again. Where this comes in handy is you can evaluate the skills on different programs, and then you're able to see exactly what your people would need to learn or what you would like to learn if you're going to school for these types of things. It also has desktop publishing, which is an excellent one on Ventura Publishing. It's got 1.0 or 1.1 and version 2.0. Networking, if you have a network in your office and you want to check out how you're evaluating yourself on, say, the fundamentals of Novell, it's got Novell NetWare version 2.0, Novell NetWare version 2, and this is for the systems operator, and Novell NetWare 2.1 for the systems operator again. Now this one here, operating system, this one gives you microcomputer fundamentals. This is a great tool for everybody that's learning how to use computers. The default time on this one is only 15 minutes. And again, it's randomly sorting the questions, so it isn't a matter of somebody memorizing all the answers to get a better score. Again, we get our help screen. Which of the following sizes of floppy diskettes is not valid? 3.5, 5.25, 1.2, or 5.5? Well, the answer to that one is, say, 5.5. So then we hit enter. What is the command to prepare a new floppy disk so that information may be placed on it? Format A:, structure A:, sector A:, or restore A:. I know everybody at home's going, oh, I know that one, I know that one. Format A, right. And for the people that don't know that answer, then this gives you a good handle on exactly how much you do need to know, and you can keep track of and make goals as to when you're going to accomplish goals. So again, it's a very simple procedure to go through. The people at Castlewell were brilliant to do this. And so I'll go back out of that, evaluation completed again. And you can keep, in this particular case, this evaluation gives you experience on the keyboard, the terminology of the computer, hardware, and general. So it gives you a good idea of where exactly you are. So again, you can send it to a file in your computer or a floppy disk and store it there, printer or the screen. So we'll return back to the main menu, and it also goes into spreadsheets, so you have Always in there, Lotus 1, 2, 3, and Symphony. Word processors, you have Microsoft Word 4.0, Multimate Advantage 2, PFS Write, WordPerfect 4.2, 5.0, the WordPerfect library, and return to the main menu. Now, you can also set the default times on the different packages. Let's say you thought ACPAC was, say, too hard for your people or whatever the case may be, or for yourself. You can set the time at a different time. So in this particular case, it's set at 27 minutes, set new default time at 28 minutes, and default time has been changed from 27 to 8 minutes. Is the new default time correct? So it always gives you an option of changing the time. So I'm just going to leave it at 27. It tells me that it hasn't been changed, and you can do that change with every one of the word processors. Statistics is a really good one because you can accumulate statistics on every program and every evaluation that you do. So it's a matter of being able to see exactly what you've done on a progressive basis. So let's say take a look at viewing the statistics, and we can see that where do we want to check? We'll check microcomputer fundamentals, let's say. And we find out that these people in here have received these marks. The minutes and seconds that it took, the date, and exactly where they got the correct answers and where they didn't. So it makes it a very easy system to follow and a very good tool for everyone to have for learning about computers, because it gives you a really good handle on exactly how much you do need to know. Now, custom evaluations. This one is really interesting. There's two packages. One is the skill evaluation system, and this one includes everything that you see on the screen right here. Now, this other package here, this is called the Skills Evaluation System Architect. And what this does is it allows you to custom create 100 of your own questions. Let's say if you were a leather manufacturer, for instance, and you wanted to have 100 questions on leather manufacturing. You could place 100 questions in there, give multiple choice answers, and then select the right one. So that way you know that when you're interviewing somebody, they have the right candidate, or at least you're able to evaluate their particular knowledge on every different aspect of your business. So the customs evaluations, I mean, can be done with all kinds of different products. Or services, or when you're training somebody or interviewing somebody, or able to do some type of evaluation to see exactly where their talent lies. This program actually has only been on the market since January, and right now it's all across North America, New Zealand, Australia, and in Europe. So it's something that's happening very quickly, and if you'd like more information about it, you can write us here at Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles in care of Cable 14. And we'll make sure that you get all the information. So now what we'll do is we'll return back to DOS, back to our main menu. I hope you enjoyed that skills evaluation system. I know a lot of the people out there that stuck with us through all that can see the value of having such a tool to use with your computer system. I'd now like to go to an interview with Hayes, the modem people, because communication is very important in this world, because we're living in the 90s and communication and information is the age that we're living in. So off to Hayes to talk about modems. I'm with Ken McClellan of Hayes Modems. Ken's going to give us a description of what a modem is, communications, and what we can look forward to with Hayes.
Hi, thank you very much. Essentially, what a modem is very simply is a device that allows commuters to communicate over the telephone line, just in the same way that you would communicate with somebody else, another human being. Modems go from very sort of simplistic devices like acoustic couplers, where you're actually hooking a telephone into to a rubber cup, all the way out to a little box that's no bigger than a shoebox that allows you to communicate huge documents in a very short period of time.
Excellent. I've heard a lot of talk about the 9600 baud modem. Can you give me a little description about what this new one's about?
Okay, well, we've got two modems that are actually fall into the 9600 baud category. We've got one that is a full, what's called a full V.32 modem, and that V.32 refers to a standard set by the Consultative Committee for International Telephone and Telegraph. This is a full duplex modem, and it'll communicate with any other V.32 modem. In addition to that, we've got a modem that we call our V-Series modem, that is a half-duplex modem that contains a standard V.42, which is an air protocol. And also we have our own proprietary data compression in that as well.
There's a little bit of talk in the industry about what will be the standard de facto in the 9600 baud area. What's Hayes' stand on this part?
Well, we adhere very closely to the standards that are set by, again, the CCITT, or the Consultative Committee for International Telephone and Telegraph. So we'll be following, as those standards continue to be set, we'll be following very closely to those.
Fantastic. What types of new things can we look forward to with Hayes?
Well, we've got two new things at the show that we're quite excited about. One is a series of fax modems. 3 internal fax cards and 1 portable fax that you can carry along with you, in addition to a personal modem, which is a 2400 baud modem that's all contained with the power supply, with the cabling, and the phone connection, all in one, and something just a little bit bigger than a cassette tape.
So this means that someone can actually carry around a modem in their car and transmit, let's say, by cellular telephone? Is that what that incurs?
Well, with this particular one, it'd be a little bit difficult because of the power supply issue. It's not something that would be run off a 12-volt, say, a cigarette lighter connection. But it's certainly something you can carry around to a hotel room or to an airport and very quickly connect it up to just a normal 110-volt power supply.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Ken.
Okay, thanks for
month.
No, I know.
You haven't been on for a month.
No.
How did that feel?
It's been like a holiday. I think everybody else thought that we probably left too.
Yeah.
Under circumstances, that's okay.
Yeah, we had to let the mayor on, I guess, eh? So we've done a lot of exciting things in the last month.
Yeah.
And something that I want to share with everybody is the books that we got from the Computer Learning Foundation for the computer education really have been excellent for people, and give you some idea of some of the programs that are available. They've got a whole list of programs in here, and here's one for Managing for Success. This is a good one for anybody who owns a computer and has their own business. Managing for Success is a business management simulation. The user is CEO of a major corporation with 8 departments: research, development, finance, engineering, materials control, manufacturing, production, quality control, and marketing. What the challenge is to see if your company can become successful. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people can
have all them organized.
Yeah, and they're faced with challenges and different questions, and they have to deal with all of them on a collective basis and come to decisions and all that type of thing. That's a university guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got 2 Ventures Business Simulator, dreaming of becoming the next Lee Iacocca. So it's got a lot of plus Newsmaster, which does up news type or newsletters and things along that line. These books are very valuable to have get all that information. And all this is available.
And the other books that we have too, it has children in there that have been in kindergarten and they've been taught on the computer, and they've designed their own little programs to keep track of.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up.
Oh.
Grades 6 to 8.
6 to 8,
lesson
okay.
plans. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you have a child, call in and give me the grade that they're in, and then I'll give you a lesson plan for them. And like one here, this one's for mathematics, collecting data and graphing. The object is to collect, organize, and arrange information in a pictograph and create a survey and administer it to the class. So that's set up for a classroom situation. So create a bar graph on the computer. And that's excellent because there's so many different graphs to create. So anybody who's got a problem in Hamilton about what to do with their computer, give us a call before midnight tonight. Actually, we're only here till 9 o'clock. So better get them in quick.
Okay. Okay.
So you've got a lot of interesting articles. A lot of things have been happening in the computer world in the last few months.
A lot has been happening. I have just a few. This is a device that they've created to put wristbands on patients, maybe Alzheimer's or people that lose their, I would specifically say maybe Alzheimer's patients, because you hear of them wandering out of the building and the next thing you know is they've been found and hopefully they're okay. But there's a new device. It's just like a wristband, a watch, and they have them all set up on the computer in the home that the patients are, and they can get the beep from it. So this way they don't wander too far, hopefully, or they get noticed right away that they're gone. Yeah, yeah, that's just one little thing. Keeps track of them.
That would be good for wandering husbands or something too, eh?
Well, you've got a wandering husband.
I'm just joking, yeah.
Let him wander.
Where is he? Where is he? That's excellent. Did you know that last month in Canada, 202,000
computers were purchased? Yes, I did.
So you can imagine how many people
and that's just in Canada. Just imagine around what is happening in the States and around other parts of the world.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. We're into the 1990s, full-fledged, 202,000. So you can see some people that know about computers are sitting there doing their work and all that type of thing. But I'll bet you about maybe 70% of those new computer users are turning on the computer for the first time and waiting for it to do something.
Well, that's what I always thought computers were supposed to do. Nobody told me any different.
Get this little blinking light on the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
And, well, that's excellent. So I wonder if anybody has any problems that we can take care of now in Hamilton.
With software and such? Oh, what's a few different software programs that are good for people to use in their homes? If I was going to use an accounting system, which type of accounting system would you suggest for home use? Because I think it's just as important in the home as it is for a business. It doesn't matter. You can still keep statistics of all your finances and where your mortgage is going and how much you've paid on it and what the future is if you only do it on a monthly basis, what it's going to be ending up in 25 years. You can calculate all of your interest within a few seconds. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that, too, is you're able to produce graphs. So you're able to produce a graph from the results over the course of the years and see if you're even keeping up with inflation.
Yes.
And that is so, so important. But to answer your question about which package to use, there are a number of public domain packages that are like $3 to use. Then you can go up to a package, let's say something like Quicken.
Okay.
That's included with First Choice. And that's a basic accounting package set up for home and budgeting and bank accounts and credit cards and things along that line. Now, if you want to get into, say, assets and liabilities and, excuse me, actually dividing everything up into its accounting type system, then you go into something like Bedford to begin with.
Yeah, that gets a little bit deeper into the accounting. And I also heard something about with the Bedford package, though, that if you put the amounts in and if you make a mistake, you can't get back into it to correct it.
Yeah, that's what there are certain stipulations that every software package has and every limitations, so you have to research that and see exactly how your accounting is all set up.
I think I'll stick with New Views.
And then you can get into things like New Views and ACPAC. ACPAC is made for large corporations and for major corporations that do millions and millions of dollars. So there's a whole range. And the interesting thing is to make sure to do your shopping, to make sure that your needs are met and that you're getting support from the computer system if you're investing in a computer system.
remember that software package that I purchased a little while ago for JD, and is it Read and Writer? It's with the Sesame Street characters on it, and it's a marvelous little, it's like a word processor, and it even gives you a list of 25 words. You add your own words to it, and your children, which at the beginning you'll help them, but your children, you sit down with them and create little stories on it. It'll save it and it'll print it out. It's really an excellent little package to start young ones on, and it's teaching them the letters, plus it's teaching them how to spell at the same time. So it's there's so many things out there that people have to start utilizing to help improving their children, because we have to help them, because they're the ones that are going to be in the future generations that are going to be, everything is going to be computerized, right to wanting your door opened. You're just going to say open and it's going to open. So we better take a very long, serious look at this now.
Yes.
Yes.
But everybody has 202,000 people took the plunge last month.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while, but you do it.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun too. Once you get into it, that's the thing right now. Is there anybody out there that has the hesitation or has been thinking, geez, I should get a computer, I should get a computer? Go for it. It's like, I mean, an IBM computer, they start generally around $900 today. So it's under $1,000 now. So it's not that expensive to get a start on it.
Yeah.
And then they escalate up, and you know, you can get fancy and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But you know, for even $900.
Well, you start out on ones that are a little bit less, and then build your way up. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's really excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let's take some calls from the city of Hamilton.
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
What can we help you with?
What I was wondering, the office where I'm working right now, what they're looking at doing is expanding the local area network to a wide area network and connecting our office with remote offices. I was wondering, what exactly do you need to do something like that?
Well, there are a couple of different ways to do it. How far is the other office?
I'm sorry, my daughter.
That's okay.
No problem.
It's in kilometers, say.
Oh, okay, we're talking kilometers. We're not talking like one building next to the other one.
No, about 15 kilometers. It's right across town.
Oh, okay, so you'd have to do it via modem.
Yeah, I know all that, I understand, but I'm just wondering like what sort of software and whatnot you need to accomplish something like that.
Yeah, you'd get involved in a lot of communications. It actually is a system that has to be engineered for your specific uses, because all of your programs have to be able to be transmitted by blocks through the telephone line.
What does something like that usually run, price-wise?
Oh, it all depends on how many terminals you're using and you know, exactly what you want to accomplish at the end. Like, I mean, I've got a modem on mine, and it's not hooked up to a network, but I mean, it's just a matter of having another modem on the other end. That's kind of what wide area means.
So then it would just be two modems really connecting? There's nothing that needs to be in between there?
Oh, well, there may be interfaces that are needed, boosters that are needed. A lot of those things that's a real in-depth engineering type article. How long have you had your local area network now, Ron?
Oh, about a year. Well, actually, about 9 months.
Excellent. So yeah, that's the way that everything's going now, is remote communications and tying up all the offices. The insurance companies, of course, the government, they've been doing it for a long time, but a lot of smaller companies or franchises, things along this line, are doing it. So it's an excellent decision to go wide area.
Okay, terrific. Thanks very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye for now.
Good. Yeah, I was just reading one of the articles that I didn't bring with me tonight about there's a company out there that is getting a whole list of, maybe it's this one, no, they're putting together like a Yellow Pages book, and they're having everything is all done by computer, but seeing it's the first time out right now, as I believe it's already in the outside world, if you want to call it. And you call into this to find out about any other company that trains people or does any type of technical work on computers, or repairs, or I guess satellites, faxes, anything like that. Excuse me. And they oh, help me along here. They do it with the training
You're able to, what you're able to do is go into a database and
yeah, but they
search
do it through the computer. So we're at home here, and we can hook up with this company that has created this, and it's $2.65 a minute right now, which comes out to be pretty expensive. But if you're looking, no, $2.65 a minute, $600 and some an hour though. But the organizations or large corporations that are out there, if they want to be able to find out any type of education systems and trainings that are out there, they can hook up into this, and they can do it just within a matter of a few moments and find everything now, instead of the normal way is sit down on the phone, go through the yellow pages and try to find everybody that you're looking for, and then you still go out of the city anyway to find more people. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well, see what the database does and what the computer enables us to do is to say if you were looking for a purple hat with a red ribbon.
So I can have fashion shops.
That's right. And what you do is you could put in, you know, purple hat, red ribbon, let's say. Now that's using an extreme.
Yeah.
But what it would do is it would search through all of the businesses, say the hatteries, and go through the database and find out who has
I guess
that
eventually that's
service.
what the stores will do too, is put everything that they have in stock on the computer too, and you'll be able to just,
Yeah, it'll be really excellent. That's the whole idea behind information access and information services. So for people that don't have computers today, they should start to, you know, for $900 to get a start on it's really not all that much, and a lot of companies are offering specials and all this type of thing, so that you can do it over the course of months. So because everything that you get out of the system, I mean, for the children and the education, all the way through to the adult education and things like, I mean, businesses that aren't on computer in the next few years. I mean, just with the GST coming along, there's so many calculations that have to be done on this and on that. That it's very important to be prepared for all that, and the computer really assists with that type of thing. So we're able to really get the most out of the information that we're using. Here's a lesson plan, excuse me, from Christopher Rhodes in Maiden, North Carolina. And the idea is, with this one here, this is an art entry, to create a flyer for an advertising campaign of a service or product. So the materials, this is for grade levels 7 to 8, and one or multiple computers are needed. Software is a graphics program. And be familiar with the computer and the graphics programs is the prerequisite, and discuss different methods of advertising and have them think of an idea themselves and do an actual ad campaign for a product or a service. Like some of the programs in here for children are just excellent, and the neat thing about it is that the children have designed them.
Yes, yeah.
So they're, in essence,
they can understand them.
Yeah, like that one book that says everything you wanted to know about computers, but were afraid to ask your children.
Yes. Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah,
that's true.
How many people have we talked to that say, "Oh my God, you know, my child knows more about computers than I do."
But if we were that young again, we would have been learning it along too.
Yeah.
Or me anyway.
Computer has the answers on job training in Ontario.
Oh, this is a similar type of thing that I was telling you about just a moment ago.
Yeah, so all these information services are really excellent to be able to access. And like that, like Ron was talking about, the wide area network. What that means is that now 2 offices can communicate information back and forth and say the skills evaluation. I mean, that can be done on a regular type basis so that you're on top of it and know exactly what your employees or your the other people that work with you are, where their levels are, so that you can improve and be more efficient.
Something else that is happening too, they say by the year 2000, 2005, whatever, so many people, instead of going into the workforce and having to drive into their company to work there, they're going to be stationed, have their stations set up in their own home, and they won't be going into their work buildings maybe just twice a week. Everything else will be done over fax and modems and computerized that way, which is excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Because you do get excuse me, a lot of work accomplished at home that way. That's good.
Yeah, actually, I want to talk about that in a few more minutes after Talk to somebody else from Hamilton.
Hi, Karen.
Yes, hi.
What can we help you with, Karen?
Okay, well, I just wanted to point out something. I think this show is great to have because a lot of people are going into computers right now. And unfortunately, when we got our computer, we ran into some problems with our training.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd just like to point out to the viewers that it's very important to screen who is training you because we didn't, and we ended up with a lot of problems.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call in and make that point across and ask you, is there some type of agency or something that you can call to report people that don't train properly?
That's kind of difficult. I don't know your particular situation, but I know that there are a lot of people, like the computer industry right now is going very, very crazy, and it's hard to really get good qualified people. So they didn't try to make up for it in any way, shape, or form or anything like that?
No. Well, we found as we were being trained that they were going by the book, which is something that we could have done ourselves. And we got quite frustrated with that.
Yeah.
So our training is at a standstill right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, the only place to report something like that is the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, the Better Business Bureau, the Better Business Bureau has a lot of people in there that maybe shouldn't be in there and all that type of thing. Oh, I shouldn't say all that stuff. But,
Unfortunately, we didn't think this would happen. No.
But, we can definitely be in touch with you and say assist you with that, because that's what the whole idea of what we do is to assist Hamilton in learning about computers, and this show is really thank you very much for your comment, because
thank you very much.
We really like bringing this show to people and show them all the new things that are going on in the world.
Yeah. Is there somewhere that we could get a list of good trainers, or is there anything that's printed out from an association of computers? Like, I don't really know anything about that. No?
Yeah.
Well, we have some information that we can give you in that.
Okay.
We have your phone number, I would imagine, and we can give you a call back and make sure that you get some people's names and that would be suitable and that are qualified.
Yeah, that would be great.
What were you looking to be trained on, Karen?
Well, we have the ACPAC system right now.
Okay.
And we're just got to complete that up.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's a very complex package too.
Yes.
Yeah, it usually takes an accountant and to do that type of thing.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought we had, but we found out that we didn't. I don't know if I should even mention the name, but
no, it's better not to.
So,
okay.
It's a matter of just I wanted to call and point that out to the viewers who are starting out, because it's something that you really have to think about, and if there was something that you could offer, that would be great.
Yeah, no problem.
That's where our skills evaluation comes in handy too.
Yes.
You can test the people on it before they start teaching you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good idea.
Evaluate your trainer. Got it.
Why not?
Thank you very much for your help.
You're
no
welcome.
problem.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Why not?
That's a good idea. That's an excellent idea, actually.
Well, it's just that so many computers are out there right now, and a lot of people have gone to school and they know the basics of things, but to sit down and instruct people on it, you have to be very well versed. There's no way that I would even want to try and teach somebody DOS. Never mind ACPAC.
Not yet. That's okay.
I'm doing fine for me. I'm doing just fine. Okay, I'm going to take the next call. Paul? Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Fine.
Good.
I'm in grade 11, and I'm wondering if I was going to buy a computer, and I was wondering what kind. Like, I mean, let's see, I would suggest an IBM clone.
Okay. What would you like to do, Paul?
Well, like, hopefully do papers and in the future, hopefully go into economics.
Okay, then an IBM compatible would be an excellent choice because of the business capabilities and the. What I would suggest for you, Paul, is to put a math coprocessor if you're going to get involved in a lot of statistics, because that speeds up the analytical processing, the actual speed of it doing calculations inside the CPU, which is Central Processing Unit. And I'd suggest if you're going to do a lot of economics type work or a lot of statistics, to buy either an AT or a 386.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Good stuff. So you're going to be using it now in high school for your doing your essays and that type of thing?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, IBM definitely would do an excellent job for you then.
Okay.
Be good.
Okay, thanks a lot, Paul.
Bye.
Bye for now. Getting back to that in the home business type thing, a lot of people can really, once we get involved in that a few years down the road and it becomes more and more popular, people will actually do more work. These are what studies have shown. Because you can get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and do 3 hours of work and then, you know, or whatever the case may be, and work when...
They're more productive.
Yeah.
Because they're not put under, you're working from 8 till 4 or 9 till 5, and they still get everything accomplished, and usually more if you're doing it out of the home.
Yeah, a lot of creativity too. Plus, people get to see their children.
Yeah, which I'm sure they enjoy doing. Yeah. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Okay. I had a question about choosing a VGA monitor. How do you decide when you need a multi-scanning VGA monitor versus a standard, normal, inexpensive VGA monitor?
Okay.
When you can afford it.
Than that.
Yeah.
Actually, what are you using your VGA for right now?
It's used for business applications, mostly accounting. But I like to in my own time goof off with it.
Yeah, so
I'd like it to do a multitude of tasks.
Where the multi-scans, multi-syncs really come in handy is when you're doing a lot of graphic work. If you get involved in, let's say, doing a lot of charts and a lot of, well, you're in accounting, so you would do a lot of statistical type work, wouldn't you?
Not a great deal of statistical, no.
No? So you wouldn't be, say, comparing the bottom line on this to the doing graphing and that type of thing wouldn't be important to you right now?
I'd like to be able to move up to Windows 386. So I don't know if I should go to a multi-scanning then.
Well, Microsoft Windows 386 will work on a VGA, no problem. So it's not really needed for doing that. It gives you a clearer picture, and it gives you more graphic capability. So I would say if you were going more graphic-wise, then it would be a little wiser to go to a multi-sync or multi-scan. But if you're doing a lot of figures and doing a lot of work that doesn't require multi-scan, then I mean that's a justification that you would have to make if you wanted to spend the extra money.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Bye now.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's actually, they've got now, what he was talking about, multi-scanning monitors and stuff. They've got monitors that are identical to TVs now. So it's not very long until fiber optics is here. And
I wish I wouldn't have forgotten all of my articles, because there was another one that I had.
Well, let's talk about it.
And it was there, I think it was the quote or something on it was something similar to a paperless office. But you sat there and the screen in front of you was a very nice size screen, and you just sat there, and the person that you were talking to on the other end with this keyboard right in front of you was pictured right there, and you were sitting right there in the office at the same time. It's great. That'll be fun. That's like having the telephone and being able to see people and talk to them. And that actually they just broke through that technology about 6 months ago. So now everything's done. It's ready.
It is.
It's ready.
And it's excellent.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to, talk to each other and all that type of thing.
I think maybe too, Dave might have been interested, because he was saying that about the multi-scanning in the Windows. Maybe he was wanting to get into something more on his own personal level instead of doing just all the accounting. Yeah. So if he wanted to get into something like that, the creative end, then the multi-scanning would really be a good benefit for him. Because you have to pull yourself away from it sometimes, because even with the computer, numbers do start getting annoying and confusing sometimes. Yeah. So I'll take our next call. Steve?
Yes.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Good, thanks.
Good.
I just tuned in, and I hope this question hasn't been asked yet, but what does one look for when he's looking to purchase a computer for the first time? I'm actually a beginner at this sort of thing, and I'm looking to buy something to get myself started. What do you recommend?
Well, that all depends a lot on exactly what. Are you looking to use it for business use or personal use?
Yeah, I'm getting into some. Actually, I'm considering doing my CGA, which will require me to use it for business as well, for some printing and some letter writing and things like that. Word processing, I guess, needs. I don't really need graphics or things of that nature.
Okay, basically there are 3 rules of thumb. If you're doing a lot of business work and that type of thing, then IBM is the way to go. If you want to get involved in video creations and using a computer for video production work, then an Amiga is an excellent computer to use. And if you're looking to get involved in printing and really creative work, then an Apple computer is the way to go. So in your particular case, if you're using it for school and writing reports and things along that line, then IBM compatibility would be the thing that you look for.
Okay, now when they say IBM compatibility, they don't necessarily mean an IBM product. I could use, you know, like a generic, I guess, type product, correct?
Right, and that's the most important thing, and I have to stress this over and over and over again. Especially when you're brand new into computers, and this was discussed a little earlier. Did you hear the lady that was talking about training and not getting the right training and that type of thing?
I just tuned in. That's why I hope this question wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's okay. There was a lady that called in previous, and it was she was talking about not getting the proper training with her system. And support is the main thing when looking at you know, who you're going to deal with in business on getting a computer system, because you want to make sure that, like, a computer is just like buying a hammer, really. When you buy a computer, like as long as you have the right hammer to build your house, you don't really think a lot about buying the hammer. But when you're buying a computer is just the tool. So the software and the applications and how to run it and how to use it and how to print and how to do all the calculations inside it, and software is the main thing that you should be looking at in which applications you should use.
Okay.
Okay, and support. Bye for now. So support makes the difference.
Yeah, well, you need more than just a computer. You need to have someone there, or whatever phone call that you can make and say, "Can you help me with this?" Or, yeah, it's a lot more. It can get very frustrating if you have a difficult time learning it. Very.
Now, let's go to Dr. Computer and see what. Oh, he's going to talk to us about modems and communications and modems, right, Dr. Computer? So we'll see you back in a couple of seconds.
Today we're going to talk about communicating with your computer, listening to what your computer has to say, and what other people's computers have to say. This is one way of doing it. A more effective way is to use a modem. This is a modem. Modems come in various price ranges and various speeds. This is an internal modem. You can buy them at 300 baud, 1200 baud, 2400 baud, 4800 baud, 9600 baud. Baud is the rate at which data is transferred out of the device, across the wires, and into another device in another computer. They're used to allow computers to talk to each other. Particularly, they're used to connect up to bulletin boards, to download free programs, or to tie yourself into, say, for example, your friend's computer. But there's a problem that's commonly encountered in our shop. People come in and complain, "I bought an internal modem, but it doesn't work." We have a solution for this. First of all, the reason for the conflict. These devices are easily installed, just as we explained graphics cards were easily installed. You can stick it in a slot, and you would expect the device to work. But sometimes there's a conflict. This is a serial device. If there's already a serial device in your computer, for example, a serial port, you get a conflict. The serial port doesn't work, and the internal modem doesn't work. We suggest, our commonly suggested solution to this is to use an external modem. It's the safest and fastest way of getting rid of the problem. In fact, to avoid the problem completely, we recommend that you get an external modem. The external modem plugs into the pre-existing serial devices, into the serial port, and works without a problem. Thanks, Mark.
Great.
So we're back.
That was all about our modems and communications.
Yeah, see, sometimes modems, people don't unplug their modem from the telephone line when there's an electrical storm.
Oh.
and it still goes through the line, and it'll blow your modem.
Right.
Too. Current. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So, good point, Dr. Computer.
Yeah, we have to thank Dr. Computer, too, because he does give out some very, very good
excellent
hints.
tips.
So, yeah.
Dr. Computer, CD.
Yeah.
Computer doctor.
Okay, I'm going to take another call. John?
Hello.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad.
Great.
The question was, a couple years back, there was an upheaval about modems and Bell Canada. And Bell Canada trying to do something with customers' rates on their phone lines because computers being on it all the time.
Oh.
Is there anything happening recently?
No. I think, I mean, they've got a monopoly on the line anyway.
Well, so what you're saying, I'm sorry, so what you're saying is that Bell Canada wanted to charge the people that were using the computer, their modem on the telephone line?
They want to charge them business rates.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Now, that was publicized back just under 2 years ago. I've been using a modem now for about 7 years, so it's affected me quite a bit if this is going to go through.
Yeah, I think that the way that they combated that is to build their own system, this Alex system.
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with Alex?
Heard of.
Okay, well, this is, I guess, their hedge against that type of thing, that they've created their own information service, and they're charging now for their information service. So I think that was their way around it type thing. So you can call up there and, you know, they can make more money that way. But so far, everything has stayed the same, and I haven't heard anything in the media about that at all in the last, like you say, couple of years.
Yeah, I haven't read anything either.
So I don't think we'll be affected by that.
I should hope not.
Yeah, I don't think Bell will try to pass that through. But
excuse me.
John, don't hold me to that because I'm not going to pay your phone bill.
No, we can. Gee, I really don't know how we would find out that other than calling Bell Canada and asking them if there is anything that's going on about possible charges for people that are using the telephone lines with the computers.
And do you do a lot of work with your modem?
Quite a bit. Most of my work actually is done on the modem.
Oh, what type of work do you do?
Basically sales.
So a lot of data transfer and transferring files back and forth?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of long distance as well. I had another question as well. The multi-link systems, are you familiar with them?
No. Not.
Basically, it's computers using modems calling locally, basically kind of a chain type of effect. One computer calls another locally, then the other one calls another one locally, and basically goes down. You can end up in California. You know, a message being sent to California within 3 to 4 days or so. Is that supposedly illegal, or?
Well, I mean, that's a lot of that's done through bulletin board services anyway.
Yeah.
And sure, I don't know of any reason why it wouldn't be illegal. I mean, something like that I think I would have heard about for sure. And we get all the magazines on, you know, what's happening in the media and what's happening out there in the world. But I've never heard of anything being illegal in that. That would take a lot of time, though.
Yeah, it'd be very time-consuming.
But something like a public domain program or something, a proposal, is that you're working on proposals and things like that?
No, it's a system that's already up right now and working. So I've been receiving a couple messages from deep in the States, and matter of fact, a European link was just made back about a year ago, so I've been sending messages back and forth that way. It takes as long as a mill, if not longer, but
you can get all kinds of information through.
Oh yeah, quite a bit, and it's all local.
Wow, that's actually, is there a number for that?
BBS number?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one.
That would be great if you could give that to us.
Yeah.
Is there a special package that you have to buy for that or no?
No, not at all.
Oh, good. So that's a free service.
We can
do that.
Yeah, we can check it out.
Do you have the number handy there?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give it publicly, but...
That's fine.
Well, that isn't a free service that people can utilize? Because I think a lot of our viewers would like
service.
to...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, that type of service is like ham operators. You know, they call all over the place. But whatever, I can get that from you and then get it off you later or whatever.
Oh, sure, I can give it now then if you want, if it's a free service. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, it's 637...
637...
5001.
5001. Yeah, did you catch a few? Have you watched these shows before?
First time.
Oh, okay.
Welcome.
Welcome to the world. we've done communications and modems and done bulletin board services and things along that line. We listed all the different systems out there. So this is an interesting one. Thanks very much, John.
Problem. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome. Something else too, the Computer Club meeting this Monday night.
Monday evening.
Yes, this is the last Monday in the month, correct? Yes. And that's
busy that evening.
held at Park Business College at 145 King Street East. And there's going to be a lot of exciting things happening again this month on learning and growing with the computers. And I guess we've got time for one more call. So we'll talk to Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Oh, hi there.
Hi.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's any kind of program you know that is set up to do billing and invoicing of a simple nature for a company. I've looked at, some database programs and Lotus 123, etc., and everyone tells me it's possible to do it with these programs, but it seems to involve, programming, etc., and or hiring a programmer to do something, some custom work for you. What I'm thinking is that there must be programs that have this ability in them to, to do some invoicing and billing. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Bedford is an accounting package, and it does invoicing and billing, and it also takes care of all your accounts. They actually have invoices already pre-designed that you don't have to muck around with, and it puts your company name in and the date and all of that type of thing.
I'm fairly computer literate. I've had a look at several accounting packages, and they all seem really complicated to use. Maybe I just haven't looked at them deeply enough. I found actually a database program called Q&A that is actually a really great program to use. I haven't looked into it, but are you saying that Bedford Accounting is an easy program to use? I'm not an accountant, so immediately it started asking you about debits and credits and setting up, endless number of accounts. All I want to do is
do your billing and...
Sure, I have about a business that has about 4 products, and, I just wanted to have I thought I'd find a program that would just say, enter customer name and bill, but...
That's Bedford's pretty simple that way.
Yeah.
And it really has to get into an accounting package.
There's a few other on the market too. Actually, we just got in touch with some other people, and they're sending me some information about. But it gives you basically a whole type of accounting package, but it's very simplified too.
Great. That program you mentioned, Quicken, that sounds interesting. I've seen it advertised mainly in the United States. Does it apply to Canada too, that program?
Yeah, we've been able to get copies of Quicken with First Choice,
But it's not sort of tied to U.S. tax laws or something?
No, they've got a Canadian version of it.
That's great. Well, maybe I'll look into that one.
Okay, we'll be in touch with you, Peter.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're welcome. Okay, so it looks like we're ending another exciting
next
version.
week. Next Wednesday is our last show of the season.
So that's the bad news,
it.
but the good news is that maybe someday we'll be here again.
Soon, we hope.
Yeah.
Have an excellent night.
Have an excellent, happy computing, and good night, Jade.
See you soon, Jade.
If you miss getting in on the lines, we want you to write to Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles, care of Cable 14, 150 Dundurn Street South, Hamilton, Ontario, L8P 4K3.